Hey guys, this is Giorgi the Musicman bringing you a demo of my 6 home studio microphones. So, I have all of these different microphones that I was very curious to try them out, how they sound different into one another. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be demoing these microphones with the 1960s Premier Olympic Series drum shell. It's a snare drum, which consists of 3 plies of maple and a G12 Evans head. Um, the My dad's playing the snare drum with a classic A5 series Vic Firth drumsticks. So I was very interested to check out how all of these microphones will sound with 3 types of EQ responses, I guess. So I'll be running all these microphones in my Allen and Heath, which is a made in England mixing board. It was a rare find. I had to run over eBay and find a guy who was actually selling it with a really nice price, and it's really good. It's worked, and but it was in good hands and it's in very good shape. So yeah, I'll be using the EQ stages of the mixing board. First one is going to be flat or on the unity, like we call it. uh, the second EQ section is going to be on literally -15. That's how my EQ shows on the mixing board. It's everything on -15: highs, mids, low mids, and bass. And for the third one, it's going to be all the way up, so dialed out, maxed out, and with a little bit of volume down, because you know it's normal for it to break up because you get a lot of gain with the EQ. So for now, I'm going to be talking about a little bit about the microphones. The first microphone that's going to be on the demo is this one, which is an original made in Germany Sennheiser e609, which I think is one of the best microphones we have out on the market today. The second one is a very special microphone that I got. This is a vintage SM57, which has this very interesting and kind of crazy engraving on top of it. It says record plant remote New York City. So I'll tell you a little story about this. A good friend of mine and a fellow musician called Joshua Parrella, he read this inscription or scratch on the microphone, and he was like, dude, this says record plant remote New York City? Do you even know what's that? And I'm like, I have no idea. And he's like, yeah, you're saying you're a Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin fan and you don't know what the record plant is? And I'm like, no, doesn't like record plant mean like just like a recording studio? Because I'll be honest with you guys, English isn't my first language. So record plant, I thought it's just like a recording studio, like a big but a big one, like a big plant. Because actually in Portuguese or in Georgian or Kartuli, you can say something like that about a studio, like a recording plant. So I actually didn't know that record plant was the name of the place where Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and all those other crazy guys recorded in. So this is a little bit of a jam that I have right here, and it sounds fantastic, and it's a phenomenal microphone too. The second one, which I have, oh, by the way, this is Unidyne 3. And yeah, it says Shure Brothers Incorporated, model SM57, Unidyne 3, dynamic, and it has its own small diagram, like a heart with a crest on it or something like that. Well, it's a very special microphone to me, so yeah, I'm very thankful for it, and I love it dearly. The second microphone, the third one, it's gonna be equally vintage and worn out, and it's just fantastic microphone for vocals, and even I use it as overheads in drums, and just anywhere you can use it. These things are like hammers. So this is a low Z model. It's a 58, and I don't know where this was. I'm not sure if this was in record plant or whoever used it, but I don't care because it sounds phenomenal. It's a fantastic microphone. Um, the fourth one is going to be a specific microphone. You know, for the first time when I used it, I didn't have an EQ, so I didn't have a mixing board, and I was just doing DI, direct in the computer. So this microphone has a very specific tone to it. It's bassy, sort of, and it's they say it's a first of all it's a PG58 model. So they're saying this is more like a DJ mic or whatever it is, and it even has a switch for it. So you're on live, you don't want to talk to it, just turn it off, and if you want to continue on, just turn it on and go for it, right? So this is a very specific mic too, and it's really bassy, and it works really well with bass drums or overheads close to the floor tom. It takes all the bass frequencies of cymbals, if that's a thing, because cymbals have all types of frequencies, and bass is one of them too. And for the floor tom, so you get the big gong, from when you strike the floor tom. Which actually has the G12 Evans too. Basically the whole drum set is with G12s. The only one that is an original Everplay actually is on the smallest tom, and on the bass drum you have the front head and the back head. And yeah, this is the PG58 mic. I'll be demoing that too. And for the fifth mic, which is a very non-studio mic, I guess. I'm not sure if a lot of people are gonna actually use this in the studio, but I use it. It's weird. First time when you plug it in and on flat EQ, it kind of sounds like this, but then when you have a good equalizer, just like with the Allen Heath, you can do whatever you want with the microphone, really. Like, this is a mid-range mic because it's like small, like, sound recorder microphone, I guess, small radio mic, and it's a fantastic mic. This is a Sony F96, and it says low impedance MTL Japan, something, whatever. And you'll be surprised how good this sounds. I mean, compared to the other microphones, it does have a little bit of low volume, and the tone is different. Like what you hear from the Sennheiser, it's not the same thing as what you'll hear here. That was funny. And yeah, it's just a specific microphone, and you can. I used it for vocals. You can use it on bass, guitar, kick drum, bass drum. Anything really. If you have an EQ and if you have good ear, you can do whatever you want with it. And you can actually record the whole drum set with one microphone. It's a really nice tone too. And for the last one, please, there you go, thank you. For the last one, this is the less special one because, it's Behringer and it's made in China. I'll be honest, other Behringer stuff, total crap. But this microphone here, let me tell you, it's something fantastic for how pricey, what price it has. It's like, what, you can get one of these for like, what, 15, 20 bucks? Come on. And these things are really good. I mean, of course, it's not a record plant SM57 or 58. Probably those things are going to still last for another 100 years when this will probably break. And of course, it's not a Sennheiser e609 too, or even the Sony, That's a small microphone. It's a small radio mic, but it's heavy. And talking about heavy, oh boy, this is a heavy mic too. So what I'm saying is, maybe I got lucky, but this is a really good microphone. I use it for vocals. I've used it for overheads, literally anything. So it's basically like a cheap copy of a 58. Maybe something else, but I think it's a 58. Like, tonally, it's a little bit more bassy. That's what I got out of it, and has a little bit more high sparkles. But it's, even if I had the same SM58 microphone, two of them, they would sound probably different. So that's the whole thing with organic materials, with microphones, tube amps, guitar strings, guitars, pickups. The tone is there. you can say if it's a PAF humbucker or if it's a P90 or if it's a Fender single coil, and you can have two of them, same year, same model, same everything, and they're gonna sound a little bit different all the time. That's the whole thing with organic music. That's why a lot of people, they're like, oh, I've got all Jimi Hendrix stuff, I can still get his sound. Of course you're not gonna get his sound. First of all, his Jimmy's sound and every other musician's sound, it's all in the soul and the fingers, right? And then there is a whole other bunch of stuff, pickups and microphones and how they mic'd stuff before, and that's the whole thing. So this microphone, actually, the Behringer ULTRAVOICE XM8500, it's a pretty good microphone. So yeah, let's get on to the demo. I'll just wish you all the best. Thank you for checking out the video, and yeah, stay healthy, stay happy, and Happy New Year again, and Merry late Christmas or past Christmas or whatever. I just want all of you to be happy and good, and thank you guys all. Thanks a lot. You have a good one.